My name's John Diesel, and I teach biology. And one of the distinct pleasures I have is to work with alumni in development studying history. If you think about it, this place is not very old. You think, well, maybe it'd be better to go to Dartmouth. It's like 600 years old or 400 or something like that. But being that this is a young school, you can talk to people that were here most all of the time. And so you have living history of the school walking around that you can talk to. Some of them with a camera. I think it would be appropriate, I was putting together these remarks, and I think it'd be appropriate if we would take just a little moment to think about those that we've lost this past year. And that includes families and faculty and others. And so if you'll just bow your head and think of those folks. Thank you. Now, I don't see the president, so we will move to the next person. It is my pleasure to present the Vice President for University Advancement, Jeff Robertson. That he can tell you about how it's free to get in here right now, but you're going to have to pay to get out because he's trying to build a health center. Yeah, I got a laugh out of that. That's pretty good. The other thing that we thought about doing to raise money was I grew a beard. Well, I didn't grow it. That implies that I groomed it and did everything. It just grew, and I didn't cut it off. But when we had Science Homecoming virtually because of COVID, Mr. Kaufman grew a beard. And so we made an offer through Zoom that if you sent money, he'd shave his beard off. Well, nobody sent any money. So if you'll send money, I'll cut this off. Or actually, if you're, I don't know, you'd have to be checked out first. You can shave it off. We're talking about the bidding starting at $500,000. I think I'm safe. So that's why I left this here, just to see if anybody would do that. So without further ado.
John's already stolen 2 jokes. That was gonna...
Yeah, Cajun walked in a bar.
2 cages walking to a bar. No.
3 Cajuns.
Thank you for the invitation, John. John's actually serious. There is a significant fundraiser associated with his beard. Now, we will start at 5 digits. We don't have to go to 500,000, right? And we will start an auction at the end of the presentation.
Well, that's expensive.
I've got the floor, John. Just a second. Let me finish this. So if we will start at 5 digits, 10,000 will be the first bid. Gary said that he would ensure he'll follow up. He has some Italian cousins in Jersey, somebody named Guido, that will follow up and make sure the payments are made. So, no, I again, thank you for the opportunity. I apologize, Dr. Malik, I think is tied up either with swine or beer or something downtown. So he will be back with us. This was an eventful weekend. Thank you for your patience with us in doing this. We also have hundreds of young people on campus, which to some people this is frustrating. It's you pull your hair out, but you know the reality is that's why we're here. I used to be in that position, oh my goodness, about 50 years ago. A young 4-H'er up in Virginia, I got started. I didn't judge horses and cows. I was a public speaker. That was my part of the competition. But love 4-H. One of the things that encouraged me to go on to college was actually that. So I want to applaud the university for being part of that. I know that's Dr. Kellum in the back, Peggy, others that have been in part of this. It's really important. And for those of us that are here, students that are here, you guys may have been here as part of a visit at one point in time. It's something that we learn. I've learned because this is my first time in academia, but it's extremely important that we provide an opportunity for these students, whether it's middle schoolers, high schoolers, or whatever. And one of the things I applaud, it starts at the top. Notice I'm starting at the top. Rooney is the first one to talk about how important this is to take care of these young people, provide an opportunity for them, give up the front of his lab for them today. But other things, I think everyone's aware and familiar with the Science Olympiad, and hopefully everyone knows that started here 50 years ago. Extremely important event that those forebears decided to kind of step out on. And so, again, I want to applaud the university because these are middle schoolers, elementary, middle schoolers and high schoolers. And so it's a lot of an investment. It takes a lot of time, it's a lot of energy. Sometimes you wonder, you scratch your head, even when you're a student, saying, I can't believe the kids are running around here. But there go I just a few years ago, right? One of the things, actually, I learned something. I was here for the Science Olympiad, and I judged, kind of in this area, judged the tower competition, right? I actually learned something from one of those students, a lot of things from those students, but a very wise student stepped up to me and he said, you know, that guy over there with that long beard, is that Darwin? And you know, no, serious, I'm serious. And you know what? I looked over and I said, God, you're smart. Yes, it's Charles Darwin. So, if you think you're going to shave John Niesel's face, no, this is Darwin. You're going to get a chance with that $10,000 bid. You're going to get to shave Darwin. Now, who could say that? Nowhere can you claim being able to shave Darwin. And I'm sorry, John, I hadn't told you this ahead of time, but that was
back up there.
Oh, this was, I think, was like an 8th grader, 7th grader. This kid is going to be bright, right? Anyway, he performed very well. So, again, I'm thankful for the opportunity. One of the things about this place, folks that come here to visit, this building itself is something that we brag about. This is something that draws attention. It's something that's unusual. We actually had a potential professor here for an interview just a few days ago from a different department, not even in the science department. And you know one of the first comments he made? I love that lab. And I said, you know, that's because part of the core of what we are is we're all people that spend time in science. And he commented about the art students that were doing glass work. And so I think one of the things you all experience, whether you're alums, whether you're current students, maybe you don't realize it at the time, but you need to look back on this place and some of the things that happen, some of the experiences, things you're exposed to. I've said this before, I got a degree in science, political science, okay? I love this building. I love to come in here and spend time. But the point is, this is a university that doesn't have just one leg that it stands on. It has lots of legs. Science is a huge part of that. You all have been a big part of that. If you're an alum, I want you to look around at the number of students that are here currently. Okay, we've got quite a few students. I know there's going to be a chance to engage with them in a few minutes, but thank you for what you do in kind of setting a model for them. But also, many of you come back and speak when you have opportunities. There's opportunities for you to share your current knowledge with these students. Please do that. John Niesel, Dr. Draper, there's lots of folks here that would love for you to come back and speak to classes. So feel free to volunteer your time, because that time, I know you take away from your work or from your family or from whatever, it's valuable to us. It's valuable to our kids. You benefited from that. Maybe you had a mentor. Maybe you developed an internship through that kind of relationship. What we're hoping to do through our Alumni and Advancement Office is to develop more of those opportunities for our students, right? We have some extremely bright kids that are here, and it's because of people like Dr. Niesel, because Dr. Draper, Dr. Webster, Robin, okay, the professors that are in here, and I'm probably missing, I don't mean to call everybody out, but do you know what you call a 2-hump camel?
Pregnant.
Pregnant, okay, I got that a while ago. Okay, and what happens, what's it called?
Benzene ring.
When a benzene ring has all of its carbon replaced with iron, What's it called?
Ferris wheel.
A Ferris wheel, yeah. Have no clue what that means, but that's okay. Learned science jokes and I had to share them. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. This is a really neat experience, this science homecoming. John says it's a bunch of nerds. I know better. I really like you guys. I'm not going to call you nerds. Any questions about where the university is going? Any ideas or thoughts or recommendations? If you haven't seen it already, over in 152, there's a little bit of display, some photographs. We're talking about our capital campaign. We will rebuild Belk. We need to raise $5 million to do that. We're putting a cafeteria upstairs. We need a permanent facility. The trailers need to go away. The bathroom outside needs to go away. Yes, yeah. There's a lot of seniors running around here saying, why the heck didn't you do this a few years ago? You know, the point is, today's today. That's where we're going. So I'd love for you to help us with that. We'd love for you to be part of that. If you have friends, if you have colleagues that, you know, maybe you're not the person that can write a huge check, that doesn't matter. We need a lot of small checks. We need everybody to be part of this. There are organizations and there's people and there's things that you may know, foundations. Please put them in touch with us. Put them in touch with me. We'd love to have a chat with them. We'd love to talk about what's going on here. But the last thing I want to leave you with is, if you didn't experience the local community when you were here as a student, I encourage you to do that. One of the things that we're trying to do is continue to grow our relationship in the local community. That's why we had Dr. Malik down there judging barbecue today, right? That's why we get involved in what goes on in this community. That's why the students, you can talk to some of these folks, ask them how much time do they spend helping rebuild the local parks. How much time do they spend, if they're baseball players, serving at the local in-gathering, serving barbecue? Ask them how much time they spend doing things around the community. What you'll find is that these young men and women have got a great experience and a great understanding of what goes on locally. And we hope they're going to carry that on, right? So I want you to understand that we are trying to tie ourselves even closer to the community. You all were involved in it when you were here. You're involved in your community now. But one of the things we hope you will help us with is to continue to build that. You're going to see opportunities. This dining facility that we're going to rebuild, it's going to be a community venue. It's going to be an opportunity for people in the local community to come down and have the opportunity to see the lake, to be able to have a nice dining opportunity, but also to let our partners bring their clients, bring individuals, just have a fling on the lake. So any questions? Are there things that, I know I've kind of meandered just a little, before I turn the floor back over to Dr. Nasel? No questions? No? All right, thank you.
Our next part, if I can get this oriented so I can read it. In 2017, Dr. Tom Blackburn was asked to answer a question. What one word would you use to describe St. Andrews? And that was prompted by the admissions office. They had a contest or something. And so he stood up and said, here's what I think. Let me make sure I can get to it where I can see it. We're here, not quite in the Sandhills, not quite in the Piedmont, not quite in the coastal plains, and certainly not in the mountains. We're kind of all here, and we're all rooting for each other. And if I thought of all the four-letter words that went through my mind sometimes when I was here, the one that would sum that up best would be love. Dr. Tom Blackburn, 2017. We thought about science honoring somebody who's made a contribution and who exemplifies this. And so we have a plaque for someone who cares about horses, cares 4 horses, teaches classes. I started making a list and it scared me. Takes students to South Africa, mentors on a path to veterinary school, by which, by the way, they thrive, not just arrive, and a lot of other things. So Dr. Kellum, if you'd come up here, I will present this to you.
Oh. Oh, sweet. Thank you. Wow, it's a little overwhelming to get this recognition because all of you that know St. Andrews knows that it's not one person, it's a community. And I think that's what makes our school so strong. What drew me to St. Andrews, I've been at a couple of different universities. I used to teach at the graduate school level at veterinary schools. And what drew me to St. Andrews was their uniqueness. The fact that I can have small classes. I can expose these students to every aspect of veterinary science. And it's just not veterinary science, it's chemistry, it's biology, it's everything that we can do here on a smaller scale. So we let these students understand that there are possibilities. There are possibilities out there that some of them never even considered. And we make it happen. We make it happen because not just myself, but everybody here who is a professor, and you guys know you were here. We wear a lot of different types of caps, and we work to make the students our priorities. And it's all about what we can do better, how we can get the students engaged, how we can make their education diverse. Okay, just the little bit that I do here. I've had feedback from universities all across the United States saying, wow, your program, we're so impressed with what your students have accomplished in 3 to 4 years. Send us more applications. Mm-hmm. I mean, and to hear something like that. So it's not just my classes, it's everything that we do here on a wide scale, in sciences, in business, in art, and we bring it all together and we give them those experiences that make them very unique individuals, so that when these graduate schools get 2,000 applications, that application from St. Andrews, from our students, is going to stand apart, especially with what we can offer them. You know, there is something to be said for small individual attention. There really is. And I know it's all about growth and getting things bigger and all that, but there is also, you know, some tranquility in knowing when you walk into a classroom that I can be one-on-one with every student in that classroom. I'll give you an example. I see probably 5 or 6 students in here, and I know they're tired because yesterday we had our testicle festival where we did castrations. Okay, out in the field, 6 horses. They were there from 1 o'clock. We got home after 10 o'clock last night. Okay, and just like I told them, even in vet schools now, it's very difficult to get that experience in vet schools because, you know, a lot of people don't want students working on their horses because of all the legal trouble you can get into with that. But I've made some contacts. I know we have other professors here that have contacts with the community and within the state of North Carolina. We also go outside the state of North Carolina. As Dr. Niesel said, a couple years ago, I just really wanted to make our students stand out, and I wanted to up my game. So I got into some veterinary dealings in South Africa, made some connections, and I'm able to take students over to South Africa and give them that experience with wildlife conservation. Okay, I actually have one of my senior interns next semester that's going to Italy. We're going back to Italy, and she's going to be spending a semester in Italy. I mean, those type of things that St. Andrews offers, you guys know, we are so unique in so many ways, and the education that you get here, well worth the money. Well worth the money. But anyway, I'm very happy. I'm very happy with what I do. I'm thrilled with the students that we have and the success.
Next. Uh, Since I work with him every day, maybe for him would be a better word. I'll just say a little bit about Mr. Kaufman. He's been here almost the entire history of this university. I think this is his 58th year of employment. And if you add 4 years of college to that, that comes out to be like 62. This place hadn't been around too many more years than that. And we have the distinct opportunity to present to you Mr. Martin Brosman, who is going to show us what has been hinted about on social media and have an unveiling. And as I turn this over to him, please congratulate him as you get a chance to, because today is his birthday.
Yeah. Excellent. Thanks, man. I'm excited. I'm going to bring this over. Where's Rooney? All right. Well, I'll say something first. I have to say, I don't think I need a microphone. I was giving a talk the other day, and someone came up and said, "That was a great talk." I said, "I didn't see you in the office, in the audience." And he said, "I was next door at a boring CPA conference. We could hear you through the walls." But Rooney is, to me, one of those anchors throughout St. Andrews that either people know him and love him, know and experience something, or they didn't come to the lab. But with the collective of St. Andrews people, all with different views and perspectives, one thing we can agree on is Rooney. You know, and that's why when the Alumni Council, thanks to Gary and the whole team, we wanted to get something that we produced that was an anchor through time. And the greatest anchor through St. Andrews is the environment. This is a sacred space for me. Walking on the cause walk, seeing the place, that's a sacred space. And who's captured that better than Rooney? So the idea is to get a book together, a picture book. We've got yearbooks, we've got students, but of the space. And I talked to him, and he says, "I just want to make sure we do this." And he was so concerned about involving different people and talking about them. And I said, "I want to get it done." You know, and so we're going to reveal the cover of the book. The goal, we have the basic structure done of pictures, thanks to tremendous work of Rooney and our I guess, former leader. Is that right? About 5 hours. And it's going to be a quality book, and the goal is to be a fundraiser. So there'll be some type of pre-release version. We're shooting for the fall. We want to get a proof of concept, a color book out, and then it's going to be something you want to have on your table. This is something that really represents this sacred space for us. So, Rooney, can somebody take pictures so Rooney can come down and we unveil this? I'm going, who's going to take pictures? Will you take a few pictures there for him? Come on down, sir. Now, I do have to say something about this great man. I'm convinced that formaldehyde is what keeps him looking the same all these years. That face in person is the same guy I knew when I graduated in '83. You know, so let's reveal this. And he had picked out the cover. Let's make sure we get this right. Okay.
By the way.
Look at this thing. Isn't this beautiful? Isn't this extraordinary? So we'll get over here, Rooney. And and I just want you to know that's his picture. And he insisted one version had his name big. He goes, no, St. Andrews needs to be bigger than my name. So we're so excited. And we're working on getting the book done. And we also want to thank the marketing team, Big Tomato? Is that right? Big Tomato Marketing, because they are making it possible so we can do it. So we really want to thank them and also thank them for the great work of working with St. Andrews for marketing as well. So anything you want to add to this?
No.
I know he loves speaking, but I really see it as visual poetry, and that's what I described. I said, Rooney, let's not make this a documentary. Let's make this visual poetry. So thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
So this will be out. We'll show it off tonight, and then Rooney will have it for display. So thanks, gang.
A logistics piece of information. If you're going to March for Science, we're going to step off at the library at 4:30, cross the causewalk, and stop somewhere over there at Bell, or wherever it gets stopped. But that's where we're going to walk to. Now, finally, we have come to what Dr. Draper and the students came up with an idea, particularly so that alumni, students, alumni and alumni can interact. And it's a trivia game. It's been advertised as students versus alumni, but I'm really not sure how they're going to divide people up, whether it's going to be random or not. So, before we break up and do that, there are some prizes here. There was one bag that had money in it, but I took it. And if we could take just a brief moment and ask Dr. Malik to come up here and tell us what happened at the pig thing. And then we'll adjourn. We'll adjourn to a trivia game, and those guys are going to help you figure out what to do and how to do it. Dr. Malik?
Afternoon, everybody.
Hey,
How are we doing?
great.
I'm glad the tradition is alive. The sciences are alive, despite all the rumors that all we do is kick balls around or fool around with people's you know what, right?
Horses.
I didn't say anything. But I'm just privileged to be here. I came and said hello last year. I was still in a bit of a fog, trying to figure things around. The fog has cleared very clearly, all right? We're still in a mess, but we're in a less of a mess than we were last year, and things promise to look a lot better. If the ball bounces the way it should be, or as it should, or the way we envision it to, we'll get out of this mess really, really quickly. And then the plan is to just put us on very solid footing going forth, and then somebody else can take charge. That is my charge, and that is what I intend to do, right? But I'm just privileged to be here, just like many of you. I love that use of the word sacred space.
Yeah.
That's a new one. There's a lot of love in this place. It's a sacred space now, all right? So something else will come to mind shortly. But thank you all for being here. I know a lot of words have been said. You don't want to hear from me. That's the way it should be. So cheers. Thank you.
Okay, everybody. One, thank you for coming. It works better if people show up. Always more fun. You are now in the hands of the students.
All right.
Right.
Excellent.
Hello everyone, I'm Jennifer Dixon. I'm the president of Chi Beta, and then this is my vice president, Austin Hunt. And so we are going to be playing a game of trivia, and we're going to have teams of roughly about 5, and we're going to see who's the winner, and you get to win your prize.
All right.
So I just want to give a shout out to the football and baseball teams because they do make these donations for our gifts. Even though I don't think Alumni is going to win it, but yes, like she said, I am Austin Hunt. I am vice president of Tri Beta. We've been doing a lot of new things this year. We're getting the Tri Beta room back this year. Hopefully, that's in the progress. We're pretty much laying down the concrete to rebuild the house. That's what we're doing right now, and so we're on the right path. But yeah, so I'm gonna hand it over to Genesis. She's gonna be our MC for the trivia. Good luck, Alumni. Not a lot of faith in you, but.
Hello, everybody. Oh, sorry. Hello, everybody. My name is Genesis Davis, and tonight, the one and only shall be your host for our Science Homecoming Trivia. Now, I want to bring your attention to the screen in the back. All right, that is where your trivia questions will be. So please, you can move up there, or they're going to move it closer. And what you are going to do is you are going to find your fellow alumni or fellow students. If professors would like to take part in this as well, they are more than welcome to join the student side. No. The student side. Anywho, so you will form groups of 5, of approximately 5. Again, you are going to stay in your group, no cheating, no cheating. And then at the end, we will collect all of your papers. You will be giving 1 paper per group. You will be putting all of your names on that paper and come up with a creative, fun team name. Something that we can announce you all by. So that way when you come up and receive your presents and your prizes, then you will be able to just be more easily recognized. All right, so I will go ahead and give you a few moments to organize yourself in teams, and when you have done so, members of our group will be passing out answer sheets. All right, 1, 2, 3, go. Now, if there was ever cheating, that would be cheating. All right, we're gonna find you guys. We're gonna find yourself home. Wait, let me keep my shoes on. All right. Does everybody have a group of 5?